In Washington, it doesn't take much to spark a political firestorm. Sometimes it's just a closed pair of eyes. This week, images of President Donald Trump appearing to rest his eyes during an Oval Office event spread across social media faster than a rumor. The 79-year-old president was discussing a plan to cut prices for weight loss drugs, but the headlines weren't about healthcare savings. They were about whether the president was, well, awake. In some moments, Trump's eyes seemed closed. In others, he blinked slowly, the way many of us do around the third Zoom meeting of the day. He even rubbed his eyes, a sure sign that the nation's commander-in-chief might be fighting the world's oldest battle, staying awake during a long speech. California Governor Gavin Newsom's office quickly jumped on the footage, posting the clips with the caption, "Dozing is back." Ouch! The White House, meanwhile, pushed back with a statement insisting the president was not sleeping, emphasizing that he spoke throughout and took questions. Translation: the president was simply multitasking, delivering remarks and resting his eyes in patriotic efficiency. Aides frequently described Trump as tireless, known for phone calls at all hours and marathon travel schedules. Just a day before the event on Thursday, he gave an hour-long speech in Miami, and last month he returned from a three-nation tour of Asia. Still, questions about his health persist. He's the oldest president ever inaugurated, and recent medical updates mentioned an MRI and a diagnosis of chronic venous insufficiency, which in simpler terms means his legs are as overworked as his schedule. Of course, every president has shown fatigue at some point. Barack Obama did. Joe Biden has. But when it's Trump, many of us can only think about his jabs at his predecessor, labeling him as Sleepy Joe throughout last year's presidential campaign. And perhaps that's the real takeaway. In a political era where every blink is a headline, a moment of rest can look like a national crisis. So whether President Trump was reflecting deeply, blinking slowly, or catching a micronap, one thing's for sure: the Oval Office never sleeps, even if sometimes its occupant briefly does.
Times of India videos, your daily dose of India and the world. Global news, different views, and sharp analysis.
Pressure of expectation from your fans, your supporters.
That is often served as a backdrop for several Bollywood.
You're not a brute majority anymore. If you individually take out playwright.
Making sense of global conflicts. Tracking the new emerging world order.
Strike on Israeli military bases.
A multi-pronged.
To stay out of harm's way as Israel started bombing targets across.
Understanding changing alliances in a polarized world. Tune into TOI videos for all this and more. Click on the bell icon to subscribe and never miss an update.